In 2009, the Giro d'Italia celebrated the 100th year since its birth. To the delight of millions, it crossed soaring mountaintops, scenic landscapes, and historic cities. A 21-stage thread weaving together a patchwork nation.
You feel that's grinta, how they said grinta, you know, like this energy, you know, coming from them. And for us, it's really important, no? Because you feel that with your work, you make happy a lot of people, you know.
This is the tale of Carlos Sastre's long-awaited bid for a podium spot in its overall general classification, or GC. A story about all the obstacles he, his team, and support staff will face along the way.
And of course, here, Carlos Sastre, a man where it's all about. Maybe it's not really clear, but the plan for us for this Giro is we're gonna race for a good GC. We're gonna give him the best support we can give with the whole team is here. Of course, if there comes an option for Simon, for example, to get for a stage win, he can go for that. But our main objective is here to go for a good GC.
Carlos, this will be your fourth Giro d'Italia. What is different?
I was working for another riders, and since 2006, I changed that part in my mind, and I decided to do the races for myself. And you take the charge of the team, be the captain, and try to fight for a result, you know.
We are on this boat together with them.
But Liquigas is gone already.
Yeah, they just take the first boat. But we get there.
Yeah, now we go from the ferry here, Punta Sabbione, to Lido di Venezia. There's the first stage of the Giro. Time trial 20.5 kilometers. Team time trial, we have no chance to win, but we want to make a good result, that Carlos is not losing too much time.
At the time we arrived at the start podium for the team time trial, I realized for the first time that I was participating in a Giro d'Italia. Well, this is actually my first Grand Tour, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I've always looking forward to it, and yeah, the time is now.
Sul vostro applauso ha preso il via anche il team di Cervelo.
It feels a bit strange that we still have to go almost 3 weeks till Rome, but on the other hand, I try to look from day to day, because you never really know what's going to happen.
About yesterday, big day for the team. First big stage race for Cervelo test team. I think we did a marvelous job, super job. Technical ride was fantastic, looks good. We lose some time on some big stage race riders, but yeah, it's up to you, Carlos, to get even or make it better to them. We will give you all support you need, you know that.
I don't need anything special, I need to use them close to me during the race, and the last part of the race for the sprints, you know, be in a safety position. I don't need to be top 10 or top 20, just be there in a good position, don't lose any stupid time with a gap or whatever. Yeah. That's all, you know.
13-year pro veteran Jeremy Hunt, known as Jez to his teammates, is Carlos's main protection on the flat terrain.
Yeah, it's just crashes and splits, really, and you never know when a split's going to happen. I mean, 2 guys went down today, and I think Basso lost. From Pataki to Basso would have been at least 15, 20 seconds, so they went hard yesterday in the team time trial, and he's already lost that time already, so... No, it's a privilege to be riding for Carlos. I mean, he won the Tour de France last year, didn't he? I've known him for a lot of years, and to ride for the Tour de France champion and be asked to do it is a privilege, so...
Today, Grand Tour novice Ted King was learning to help Jez protect Carlos on the flats.
He can take care of himself for sure. So it's more like he does what he wants to do, and there's 2 of us just sort of protecting him, following him. Basically, it sounds cheesy, but we're bodyguards for him. So whatever he goes, we follow. When it's time to move him up, we move him up.
Really fast.
But for most of the tour, it will be classic specialist Daniel Lloyd who will work with Jez.
I follow Carlos, like I'm on his wheel and Jeremy's in front of him. So Jez and I, well Jez especially, because he's so experienced and he's a sprinter, like he knows his way around the bunch really well. And you know, I did a lot of the classics this year, and that's something that I'm reasonable at. And so yeah, you have to know your way around the bunch and be able to sort of fight for position and that sort of thing. So, but you know, we're quite good for helping him on the flat, I think. Until we get to the climbs, and then you know there's the other guys in the team like Vladdy and Simon and Serge. You know, the good climbers, they can stay with him from then on. So
This is the first climb. If you see the steepest part is here in the beginning, 12%.
It's nice when it goes up and you have good legs and you have a good sensation in the legs and you're climbing in the front group. It's really nice. Like, I mean, it's sort of your speciality and it's what you do best. So, and when you're climbing with the best guys, it's really a nice feeling. Yeah, it's the first time I've ever had an opportunity to ride for a guy like Carlos. Like, I mean, it's a real honor to work for a guy like that.
You said today's the first big day of the Giro. Why is it the first big day?
Because the GC riders gonna test each other's legs now today. So there's two big climbs today in the Dolomites. For sure, the Italians gonna give some rock and roll. So for us, it's just to stay put, control, and hope no crazy things happening.
Obviously, we've got Carlos in the team. He's our main guy, like here. And in the teams I've been with in the past, we haven't had a real GC contender like we have here with Carlos. So it's a bit different racing with that kind of objective as well.
Carlos stays in contention through the first mountain stages and slowly moves up the GC.
We have 8 riders, they have to protect Carlos.
Have a nice one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, and the climbs, I mean, the best climbers, like Vladdy.
How many years have you been riding with Carlos?
This 4 year Carlos. Near Carlos.
They're a fucking mess. Yeah, I'm feeling okay. I think it took a couple of days to get over the crash. I think it's getting to the stage of the race where people are starting to get tired now, so I just think it's getting tougher for everybody, you know, after almost 1 week. So.
Before they were laughing at you give us a lot of respect.
We're still on schedule where we're here for to have the best setup for Carlos.
Andiamo, go boys.
And that we don't make any mistakes before the real climb starts, that he can start in the best position.
Buenos días.
We're the Tour friends.
We are Belgian fans from Tor Hussoft.
The climb halfway the stage is really hard and also really narrow. So Carlos thinks the peloton will split anyway. So then it's important to have somebody in the break. So when the first part of the peloton comes back to the break, that we have somebody extra there to support him in the final. This was the first day that we really had to have somebody in the breakaway, just to take the pressure a bit off the shoulders of Carlos. And so yeah, I showed up there, and which was good, I think. And unfortunately, we didn't get enough time gap to make it till the finish. But yeah, it was anyway a great experience to ride up there in the front.
Sometimes when you are not just going in the breakaways, you only follow the bunch. Sometimes mean that I'm not doing anything, you know, and sometimes you feel a little bit frustrated, you know. But in 3 weeks, it's enough time for everyone just to show something, you know. From now to the end of this race, for us will be different. We need to work together hard, and I think that we will be together when we need it.
At first, he is the man who won a Grand Tour, you know, big tour, Tour de France.
but he's simple, you know? And he talks with me and with the manager of the team and with the woman who is coming to clean the room. He's talking you know, on the same level. For me, for a young rider to work in a team like this, and especially here in GIRO D'Italia, to be a part of his team, I'm really happy. Next to him, you feel very calm, you know? With Carlos, it's always with a pleasure. Whatever I do, it's always with a pleasure.
By the 11th stage of the Giro, Carlos has moved up to 6th place in the GC. The real drama is just beginning.